What to do if you fail your accountancy examination? Well, you're in the right place as to getting back on track to pass for next time because you're with two qualified accountants who are going to help you to get over that hurdle and to pass if you've sadly failed. Well, Hannah, feel free to introduce yourself to my lovely viewers as to how you can help someone who's maybe failed an exam before.
Hi, James. Yes, I'm Hannah, and I'm the founder of Accountancy Hub, which is a new platform that launched yesterday. And it supports all accountancy trainees from a wellbeing, community, and inclusion perspective. And we will help you if you failed an exam.
Oh, sweet. Well, I'll put all of Hannah's details, all the links in the description below. But as we said, Hannah and myself have sadly failed some accountancy exams in our time. It's not the best feeling, is it, Hannah, on there? But
No.
what springs to mind as to how can you help someone go from failing an exam to getting them back on track to then passing for next time?
So I think, first of all, take time to get over it because it might be the first time you've ever failed an exam. It might be the first time you've ever failed anything. But specifically an exam, and it's hard. It is hard. So I think just give yourself some time to recalibrate, look after yourself, and get back into that mindset of opening the books again
Mm.
and, going back over old ground. I think if you just go straight into it, it's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, I agree. Just even reflecting on what did I think went wrong? Was I not really prepared? The amount of studying that I did, what happened on the exam day. I used to go through it all in my mind and then just try and pick out the things. And at the end of the day, I just went, wasn't really good enough, James, to be honest with you. I mean, what springs to mind from your experience, Hannah?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's hard to know sometimes where you went wrong. I think if you can get your paper back, and I know you can for some of the exams, then do, because then you'll know exactly where you did go wrong.
Hmm.
But I know for a lot of the exams you can't do that. So it's just a question of sort of you going, I would say go back to the start and you'll know from testing yourself and doing questions, oh, I'm getting all those right. And you can kind of go over those bits quite quickly, but then you'll know, oh, this is the bit that I'm getting everything wrong. And that's
Yeah.
where you need to spend more time.
Yeah, exactly. And ACCA students who are watching this, you can actually go onto your My ACCA platform and it will show you on there how much time you spent on each section of the examination. And it also gives you a breakdown of which questions you've got right and wrong and for which syllabus areas. So that is an absolute no-brainer for you to go and check that out on there. Poor time management is a classic one, why people fail exams. The one that really gets me is not answering 100 marks on the actual paper as well. All these little things you can go back and review if you're an ACCA student. And I know ACA, CIMA, AAT are looking to put these into practice themselves as well. So just get in touch with your tutor as well.
Definitely. I'd also say, don't be rushed into resitting. You don't want to fail again if you can help it. So try and think kind of strategically about when can you actually do a resit to
Mm.
pass. So whether that's in 2 weeks' time, you can sit some exams very quickly, or whether you need another month, I'd say, give some thought to that so that you set yourself up for success.
Yeah, oh, 100%. And I mean, one of the things when I failed my advanced taxation exam, I was just staggered by how bad my notes were as well, where I just went to look back and I went, oh my, look at these folders and nothing's organized and I've not separated out the different areas. And I just went, if this was your approach going into the exam, no wonder you were confused when they pulled out income tax, corporation tax with VAT and capital gains tax, because I just wasn't digesting the information effectively, I would say, on there as well. I mean, what are the sort of things, Hannah, when you failed an exam that you look back and go, I really should have done better or could have done that differently?
I think just really understanding a topic before moving on.
Mm,
Um, because I would go back and be like, gosh, I thought I understood this, but I definitely didn't. I'm not
mm,
getting these answers right, and I must have just skipped over it. So I'd recommend not doing that.
mm.
Definitely make sure you fully understand it before you move on to a new topic.
Yeah, and from what you said before about really sort of bringing your mind back together on how you're going to reapproach it. The other thing that I find that students who get in touch with me about when they fail is that they feel like they're in the right mood to go again. They've started to get into tuition, but they've not committed and actually booked the examination. I find some students who actually just book it after they're in the right mindset. Then they go, I'm financially committed now. I know the day. I know that I've got to put in the time for it. I'd also recommend don't be one of those people that just put off actually booking the examination because it'll be in the back of your mind, go, oh, not really got to do it. Whereas if you book it, then you're going, I've got no other chance. Who else is going to go do it for me?
Definitely, definitely. Book that exam and work backwards from there. When are you going to start? When are you really going to start putting in the hours, a few weeks before? So yeah, agree with you. Book the exam and then go for it.
Yeah, and coming on to sort of like a mindset point of view for it and a sort of mental health area as to yeah, lots of students will feel anxious when it comes to the exams. I've been there, bad night's sleep, am I fully prepared? Some of my friends and colleagues have all got 80 and 90 and are all world leaders in the exam that I failed. What's your sort of thought process on that, Hannah, from your experience?
Easier said than done, but try not to compare yourself.
Mm,
Um, I know I struggled with that, but try and just, you're in your own lane. You'll pass next time. You will have done it in a month or two, or however long the period is, and just focus on yourself and try and look after yourself. Make sure you're eating well, you are getting in some regular exercise,
mm,
doing things that you love as well, whether that's watching TV or gaming or going to the cinema, whatever it is, make sure you're doing a little bit of that just to I found that if I was just studying and working nonstop,
yeah.
I just kind of lost who I was a little bit, all the things that I actually enjoy doing, like, I don't know, cooking. So just make sure you put some time aside for doing the odd bit of fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even just looking after yourself. I cut down on my running and going to the gym, and then started to eat badly because my mindset because I just didn't have someone who like I could watch something like this. Well, I'd go, oh, if I'm spending 45 minutes cooking, that's 45 minutes I'm not studying sort of mindset on there. Go, look back, there's terrible advice to give myself because if you're not sleeping properly, you're not fueling yourself properly, then when it comes to actually revising, sitting yourself down, doing mock papers, you just feel tired, knackered. And don't even get me started on people who have energy drinks and stuff like that, because that's just a recipe for disaster, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, totally, totally. And also, there's private tuition out there. I'd say I didn't realize how much extra help is out there.
Mm,
You are not alone. If you feel like you can do it on your own, then fine. But I just think it's good to know that there are exam coaches and things like that. So they won't teach you the technical aspects of the
yeah.
exam, but all of the technique that's so important for passing. So yeah, just definitely have a look around for that.
Oh, definitely on there, and even just breaking it down, just to say, right, here is today, here is the exam, and even just getting reminders like it's 4 weeks to go, 3 weeks to go, something like that, so that there is a sense of urgency on it because you've that tuition, that revision, it all has to have a plan for it, and then you go, these are my targets and setting goals. I mean, what did you change when you failed an exam before? How did you approach it differently?
I think I got extra support, so I did get a private tutor. Um, and that's great because you've got it in the diary every single week
Yeah,
and you've got a load of work to do before you see them again. So that is motivation there. I think, yeah, doing exactly what you said, putting those reminders in the diary, working backwards, putting a little plan on your wall in front of you with
yeah.
the topics that you're going to do on certain days and certain weeks. It just makes me feel better to see it and just be like, I'm organized, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the accountability is massive on there. When I was in a house share, I used to put the number of what I failed on my door so that people would see it, and then they'd go, James, why have you got 42 on your door? Oh no, I've got to tell you now. It's down bad on there. But just any little incentive like that, or even just changing up where you were studying, little things like that. That if you're not actually in a study working environment, people go do it in coffee shops, public libraries. Those are the sort of places that when you go there, the only reason why you're going there is to study and you'll be more effective with your time so that you can make time for going to the gym, seeing your friends, having a life maybe on there as well for it, Hannah.
Yeah, totally, totally. Um, yeah,
Well, it's one of those sort of things that the professional bodies, they love people to pass, and they love to put out the global pass winners. But the students out there, you've just got to also say to yourself, for ACCA, for example, it's 50% to pass. So it tends to be in like brackets, and you can work out for this for your exam. So 40 to 49, I would say, is you've got a very good amount of knowledge, but you've probably got poor exam technique on there, bad time management. 20 to 39 in that bracket, not enough tuition, not gone through the key concepts. And then anything from below 20, just not enough application, not enough time devoted to it. Something may have gone wrong on the exam day. Would you say that's a fair assessment, Hannah, as to maybe someone who have a look at that fail mark that you got, and just be open and honest with yourself about how it actually went?
Yeah, definitely. I've never thought about it like that in terms of percentages, but I think that's a good way of looking at it. And I'm just casting my mind back now, but when you look at the makeup of the exam and the marks for different sections, you'll see that, I don't know, 40% of the marks are that topic.
Yeah.
So you need to spend a lot of time understanding that. So go back to the start and look at how the marking scheme works. And so you know where to focus your energy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, are there any other final things on your mind, Hannah, that you go, I've got to get that on record. It could be the difference in getting a student those extra few marks to get them over the line and to get them passed. What comes back to mind when you think about when you got that result?
When I got that result, I was devastated. And I think the hardest thing for me was getting back into the mind zone of, okay, so tax, here we go. Let's
Mm,
start again. Let's see where I went wrong. Um, so I do think it's really important, that period of just getting over it and
mm,
then writing your plan, looking at the mark scheme, seeing if you do need private tuition or not. Do you need an
yeah.
exam coach or not? Are you going to be motivated enough? Just try and put in place everything you need for success and then start.
Rock and roll. Honestly, and anyone watching this, I get a few, you'll love this story, Hannah. I get a few students who send me a photo of where they're watching my YouTube videos. So I've had people send me a video of like, oh, I'm watching it on the bike in the gym, watching it at my desk office, anything for accountability. You're more than welcome to find me on the Instagram. It's all right on there. But my final thing, just to get on record, would be that when I failed advanced audit and assurance and I failed advanced taxation, when I came back and passed it the second time, and the amount of effort that went into it and the in-depth knowledge that you now have ingrained into you, oh my word, it makes such a difference versus a sort of basic pass, just scraped through 50-51, but I didn't really get inheritance tax sort of thing. You get a 64 and you're going, oh my word, I really get this sort of stuff. So that when you go to the CPD events, the continuous professional development, you go, oh, I recognize this and I know where that rate comes from and I know the changes. So see it as a positive. It's only going to help you out and apply it in your role, whichever you're going to go for on there. But I must say, Hannah, thank you so much for sharing those insights. And if you've got a question for Hannah and myself, leave us a comment below, along with Hannah's details are down there. You're more than welcome to get in touch. But thank you again, Hannah, for coming on the channel.
Thank you, James. Thanks for having me. It's been great to be here.
Cheers, guys. Well, make sure you subscribe so you get access to all the free videos on the channel, and be sure to like this video so you see more. But we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.